Ja Rule's recent interview on The Breakfast Club just refueled the beef between him and 50.
It's also interesting to me that you or 50 have not outgrown each other. And what I mean by that is, if you're talking to 50, Ja gonna come up. If you're talking to Ja, 50 gonna come up.
Yeah. I mean, I don't bring him up per se at all.
No, we do.
Yeah.
The media does.
Yeah.
But, because I think that's because he's, a troll and he keeps it going.
You be throwing jabs and throwing them back, but you be.
I'll go to the circus once in a while. You know what I mean? But I really like to stay clear of that.
Yeah, because when the residency stuff happened, I was like, oh, Lord.
I like to have fun sometimes and poke jabs at them too, but that's all it really is. It's like, and to me, it's like, it's silly. We're both successful black men.
Mm-hmm.
I think the focus should be on, continuing to make sure that we pay it forward, push forward, make sure the culture keeps going forward. I think that's more important. I see some of the things that he gets involved in, this feuds and something like grow up, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I be thinking of myself. And so when I see the things that he does, and he did the herb smoking on there, I'm like,
how do you feel about that? You saw it.
Of course, nobody likes all this goofy shit, but it's goofy shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm not. Preem said it best. I spoke to Preem the other day. Preem has always got the right words and shit, the right things to say. Because I was hot. You know what I'm saying? I was hot. I was ready to go nuclear and shit. But I said, So I spoke to Preem anyway. And Preem said, he said, Rule. He said, here's what you got to understand about who we are and what we are. He said, we are masters of self-defense. And I said, I love that. I said, because I don't want to start trouble, make trouble with people. But if we got to get into it, make it, I'll end it. I'll put it to where it go. I'll take it to the next. So that's why I'm like, you know what? That is the best description of what I am and who I am as a man that I could ever think about. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who we are as men.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to protect our family, protect our homes, defend our honor, our names, our reputation. That's what we're here. I'm not here to be a bully and bother people. That's not what I'm here to do. You know what I'm saying? But I am a master of self.
So Ja Rule's been pretty much playing it cool this whole interview, not being defensive, just kind of taking it lightly. Like, we both successful. There's no need for us to keep this going. I push back a little bit with certain things, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like, we both grown men successful. Like, let's move past, let's push the culture forward. But then Charlamagne asked him, you could probably see why 50 Cent responds the way he does, right? You can see why 50 would say he's smoking on an Irv Gotti pack, or you can see why 50 always feel the need to, come at you, right?
But in a way, you do have to understand why Fifth feels the way he feels, though, right? When you think about everything that y'all been through.
I really don't.
Really?
Yeah.
The fighting, the shooting, the stabbing.
What shooting? We ain't got nothing to do with that.
Oh, well, never mind. I'm not saying anything like that. No.
Yeah. But that ain't got nothing to do with us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I know the reality of it all. And that shit ain't got nothing to do with us.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it's good for, people to play that when they want to play that, and then play victim when they want to play victim. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I leave it all alone. I live a really, really cool life. I'm in a good space.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, sometimes you just got to remove yourself from the circus. And that's what I've chose to do.
Do you know who was behind the hit?
Do I know who was behind that hit? No, I don't know who was behind it, bruh. I don't know who was behind it. I know that Irv Gotti and them had put it out there like they was a part of it and they was going to do it that night, the day at the meeting. From their conversations and how they was acting, I know they had to have something to do with it. And they come to find out that the dudes who did it was working for Murder Inc. So I can't even speak on that about where they hate or where they respect. or anything about them came at. But I know that when Irv Gotti and them did the shit that they did, everybody said that was Supreme doing it. And I don't think Supreme would have disrespect the respect that Chaz had for 50 and played a part in that. He knew that was some rap shit. That wasn't no gangster shit.
I wasn't going to report on this when it was just Ja Rule speaking on how he felt about 50 Cent saying he's smoking on Irv Gotti, right? We all know the history. Long beef. It started back in 98. Supreme and his team allegedly has something to do with 50 Cent getting popped 9 times, right? However, Murder Inc. and Irv Gotti at the time, because they are linked to Supreme and them, they cool with them, they from the same hood and all that, they got business, they was jacking it. Basically, they was acting like, doing the whole rapper spiel, like, yeah, we did that, taking credit for it. So did Murder Inc., Ja, Irv Gotti, and all of them actually have something to do with the 50 situation? It's still unanswered, but we do know that Ja, Irv, and them was close to whoever did it. That we know for a fact. So boom, we're gonna skip forward to the passing of Irv Gotti. Rest in peace. Irv Gotti passes away. 50 Cent goes on Instagram and posts a picture smoking hookah, very feminine, smoking a hookah, and said, I'm smoking that Irv Gotti pack. Most people didn't respond. We didn't really hear much from anybody. But Supreme Jr. did decide to respond. He didn't make no threats, but he did say, what if I played on your mother like that? What if I played on your grandmother like that?
And if I said I was smoking on your mother and your grandfather pack, you would be telling me I'm wrong, right? If I said I was smoking on your mother, right, I'll be wrong, right? Man, a clown, man. And y'all love this nigga, bro. He's a clown, bro. If I said I was smoking on your mother and your grandfather, I'll be wrong, right?
Supreme Jr. Pops Supreme made a statement from jail. His statement from jail went against everything his son said. Even though his son basically only was saying, like, man, we don't appreciate 50 talking about Irv like that. Like, we still got smoke for him. Supreme backed away from it. Supreme said, listen, we don't got no static with 50. We don't got no reason to be making no idle threats. No reason to get into it with 50. Basically, if something happened to 50, don't look our way.
Due to recent events, the elevation to a place of peace and rest for my brother and friend, Irv Gotti, and the buffoonish display of my son, Kyle Robinson, I am forced to make a public statement in defense of Irv and his family. I do not indulge in idle chit-chat. When I speak, I have something to say. Kyle Robinson does not speak for Irv or Irv's family, nor does he speak for me or my nephew, Gerald Prince Miller. I was disgusted when I heard about the things he said as far as representing Irv's family. I regret having to take these steps, exposing his lies and fraud. But as a man, you call out those who make inappropriate or false statements. No one gets a pass. I would not be who I am if I favored him simply because he's my son. He is my son, and I love him. But I will never condone or associate with his conduct and behavior on the internet. I let him know men don't argue and beef behind a mic on the internet. Real men move in silence. He had a choice, me or the net. He made his choice. And until he forsakes the clown show, which is the internet, I will never speak or associate with him, especially when he makes veiled threats talking about we. Who is we? Prince and myself do not promote threats of violence. We different. We are masters of self-defense.
So I spoke to him anyway. And Prince said, he said, Rule, he said, here's what you got to understand about who we are and what we are. He said, we are masters of self-defense.
Now, for me, disowning your son because he got a little spicy on the internet with the op is like, I'm serving my time. I'm doing my bid. I don't need the feds come knocking on my joint telling me I got another charge when 50 get touched. So leave me out of that. That's how I took it to be, right? And so look, fast forward to Twitter now. Ja Rule went ham on Twitter. Well, X. I'm still calling it Twitter, bro. I'm an old head. Ja Rule responded to a tweet from a fan that said, 50 ended y'all. He ended Murder Inc. And they put a picture of 50. So Ja Rule responded to that tweet today. And he said, you're right. He told the feds Murder Inc. had him shot and they put us under federal indictment. Now, after that, another Twitter user responded to Ja. A random Twitter user responded to Ja Rule and said, 50 never told, and that rumor got debunked by the feds that was actually working on the case. He got questioned and refused to cooperate. The indictment had nothing to do with 50. Blame that on bad business from y'all boss and his business dealings. Murder Inc. was under indictment for bad business. The feds was already watching Murder Inc. company fake trying to be connected to the streets when y'all wasn't real street niggas. The real police knew the truth and y'all got connected to the wrong person who is currently locked up now. The story been told. You can't link 50 to this. So boom. That's what the random Twitter user said. Now, Ja Rule responded to that. Not with spice, but with screenshots and proof. Proof of 50's cooperation. Order of protection is very real. Them boys rats. And he posts this. And if you as you read this, you can see it says, face and body of informant Curtis Jackson. If you read that bottom line, you see face and body of Curtis Jackson. And it says he's an informant. It literally says that right there in the paperwork. Let me zoom in on this form so I could try to read. On March 24th, 2000, at about, can't read that top, blah, 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 county and state of New York, the defendant committed the following occurrence. Whatever. PL, gang assault in the first degree, assault in the first degree, assault in the second degree. Defendant counts 3. You got 3 counts. And that the defendant which intent to cause serious physical injury to another person, thereby aided by 2 or more persons actually. One of these lines is you could tell that the page was folded. This was a paper, it was folded, my bad. Instant to cause serious physical injury to another person, caused injury to another person by means of dangerous instrument. My bad, y'all. It's not that I can't read. It's the paperwork. If y'all see it on y'all screen, y'all can see how unclear it is. Dangerous instrument and defendant which intent to cause physical injury to another person, such injury to another person by means of dangerous instruments. Okay. The following were committed under the following circumstances. Deponent, DEPONENT. That's what I don't know what a deponent is. Deponent states that he is informed by bro, it's hard to read on this paper game. Anyway, address known as District Attorney Office, the informant observed each of the following described defenses, acting in concert with such on another and with other individuals, repeated punch about the face and body of informant Curtis Jackson. It literally says that. Sorry it took me so long to read that, y'all. If y'all reading it with me, y'all see how unclear it is. Like, I'm reading it off of here too, bro. I mean, I don't know if the paperwork is real. Ja Rule posted this paperwork as official. Ja Rule posted this paperwork as proof that 50 Cent is a rat. Now, I'm going to do my due diligence to get the information and try to get as much background as I can, right? Also, you got your YouTube paperwork party people like 1090 Jake and them, but they ain't doing nothing but going to the courts and pulling paperwork. Like, I could do the same thing. So if I can get some information on it, I will, and I'm going to update y'all here. But I want to know what y'all think, bro. Is 50 a rat? Do y'all feel like 50 a rat? I ain't gonna lie. One thing I will say about New York City, New York State, there is a lot of undercover rats, meaning a lot of dudes that ratted and told, but their paperwork is sealed files. You'll never know unless they actually ratted on you. Like, you actually was involved in the case. You know that they're the reason why you got booked. I don't know why New York is like that, but New York State is not as easy to get your hands on paperwork as a lot of other states. Also, you can't get like interrogation videos. Like, I have yet to see a New York City interrogation video get pulled and put on YouTube the way you see in Florida and all these other states. Let me know what y'all think, bro. Is 50 a rat? Let me know what y'all think, bro. Anything's possible. I'm gonna see y'all in the next one, bros. Drop it in the comments, though. Let me know what y'all think, bros. And I got another video that y'all gotta see, bro. Y'all gotta see. Y'all know Lush one off No Jumper, bro? Click this video to find out why things is gonna end very bad for him after claiming rolling 40 crip under 4 extra falsely.